Hello guys, here we do an update on disappearing Today we'll talk about a different and sadder video with this series. As you all know, the current world is full of ethnicities. However, there are several old ethnicities in our series that are disappearing. We can't cover every single ethnicity, but here are all the most notable. First is the Southern French ethnicity as well. There used to be a Southern French ethnicity mostly around here, as there used to be a Southern French country very early on in the series. There's also another French country, but most of those people still are the majority of the country. However, people who identify as the Southern French ethnicity has declined in the past couple of episodes. This is the only area with a remaining majority of Southern French ethnicity, the only province left in the entire world as well. These two provinces are around in the 40s, and everything below that goes under the 30s, 20s, and even 10s and less than 10% of the ethnicity. The Southern French ethnicity used to be around here, and when the Southern French country existed, it was 80 to 90% as well. The next disappearing ethnicity is the Old Bosnian ethnicity as well. They used to exist around here, and they are kind of just disappearing as well. Newer ethnicities are popping up in the Balkans. However, this ethnicity is completely just disappearing as well. Here. Over the past couple of episodes, the population has declined 40 to 60% as well, and has assimilated into several generations as well. There's only one majority area where there's not even a single district that has around over 50% of the Old Bosnian ethnicity as well. Then we have the Old Greco-Ukraine ethnicity. Greco-Ukrainians still make up around 80 to 90% of Crimea, as Russia has not really settled Crimea that much, but this entire area alongside the Greek religion has kind of disappeared. The ethnicity is now slowly starting to disappear as well, with an annual decline per episode rate is 5 to 10%. There's only two entire areas that's majority Greco-Ukraine as well. Yeah, and one that's plurality Greco-Ukrainian as well, with that is a plurality of Russian as well. Yeah. However, Greco-Ukrainians have migrated towards other areas of Russia, and of course towards Romania. However, for those ethnicities and populations are likely to assimilate. Then we have the Old Northern Turkish population. The Old Northern Turkish population was created by the old former Turkish country right here. That was just 4 provinces as well. Here. There are several Turkish populations as well. Here there's an Eastern Turkish population that has more become Greek, and there's the Southern Turkish population and the Eastern Turkish ethnicities. However, the Northern Turkish population is the one that's slowly disappearing. Also, this is the only area where the Greco-Ukrainians make up around 6%, and the Turkish population makes up around 46% as well. Turkey is still a kind of a mid-part of ethnicities, and is actually the slowest declining ethnicity as inter-ethnic marriages continue to happen amongst here. It isn't as bad the Bosnian ethnicity, where they are inter-ethnic marrying alongside of other ethnicities and disappearing very fast as well here, but yeah. And then of course we have the old Azeris. Not to be compared to the new Azeris, which mostly are still here, but the old Azeris kind of just exist around here. The largest population is here with 65%, and the next one is at least 42% as well. Yeah. Despite this, the old Azeris have survived decades of persecution from Azerbaijan and other countries as well. However, they may not survive as long, as the Navarro Caliphate does tend to assimilate ethnicities as well, considering the fact that for example, in the past they used to extend at least around here. Here. Unlike Greco-Ukraine, which used to extend all the way down here, but has disappeared completely from Romania and barely holds on in Russia. The next ethnicity that is disappearing is the old Arabian population, being replaced with the Navarro Caliphate population as well, and the Navarro ethnicities. The old Arabian Peninsula ethnicities are mostly centered in the UAE. Well, this entire area is 86%, and these areas around a plurality ethnicity as well. The old Arabian ethnicity seems to be disappearing rather quite quickly as well. Then we have the last one, which is the Central Indian ethnicity as well. This is the only ethnicity that really doesn't have its own nation. However, the Central India ethnicity is actually the only one that's growing out of these endangered ethnicities as well. Here. There are several other endangered ethnicities as well, but they're not really going to disappear. For example, there's an ethnicity here that used to exist here. There used to be the old Germans finally got their own country, so they're not really disappearing anytime soon. As well here. New Bosnia, the new Bosnians as well here. Serbians, which actually have two countries to themselves. And many ethnicities that still have a country, like this Libyan country has its own ethnicity, along with the old Egyptian ethnicity, as well as the new Egyptian ethnicity is mostly being mixed with Navarro ethnicity, as well to create a new ethnicity, as well here. But however, the old Egyptian ethnicity still thrives on down here. Sri Lankan is kind of mostly a Sri Lankan people, and also there's an ethnicity that is still increasing here, but they are kind of endangered as well here. And people in Central Korea as well here. And also there's a few other pocket ethnicities, like there's one here, but they don't have their own nation. One down here. And of course the old Belarus ethnicity, which used to exist, but now is owned by Russia as well. So Russia controls these areas right here. So these are the disappearing major ethnicities as well here. And it is pretty sad to see ethnicity disappear. Also, there's the Belarusian ethnicity, which used to exist right here, but now they have kind of disappeared as well. However, they kind of still make up a majority of the population. It's actually still the only Russian area besides Greco-Ukraine that is still not majority Russian as well. However, most of Russia is now Russian as well here. And there we go. Several ancient ethnicities that are disappearing as well. Also, some ethnicities that people might think is disappearing, like the old Roman ethnicity. However, the old Roman ethnicity still the Italian country is still old Roman ethnicity. They has changed their name to Italy. They're still like Italy/Rome, and they're still the same exact ethnicity as the old Rome. So there's the old Romans with a new name. Same thing with the Egyptian ethnicity. Egyptian ethnicity is so large, it's not going to disappear right away as well. Okay, it's not going to disappear right away. Same thing with like the Somali ethnicity, because we didn't really talk about the Somali ethnicity as well. They are still doing pretty well. They are kind of an endangered ethnicity as well, but they mostly exist throughout these 4 provinces. However, they do have a small presence in these 2 as well. But as the time goes on, ethnicities do disappear and new ones come and go. It is the unfortunate reality that certain cultures just do not last forever. Kind of like how in real life, there are cultures that don't exist anymore, like the Babylonians, Mayans, Aztecs, and many, many more. So yes, we will mourn these dying cultures and dying ethnicities as well. And that's what this video here. Goodbye.